So, welcome to the conversation, outspoken and opinionated. Of course, my name is Edwin Meyer. We're back again for season two. Today we are having Prince Wonten. He's going to be with us, but first we're going to just start off with we've been on a little hiatus. Everybody been having some good time. I know I've had because I've been trying to enjoy myself. So it's just been a great time, just trying to take a break from this. But then, of course, we had to prepare for season two. It's been amazing. And so, I can't wait. I can't wait for all the things that we have in store for you guys. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing season. It's going to be an amazing season. And so I am just excited for I know what's going to happen. So again, I say welcome to the conversation, outspoken and opinionated. My name is Edwin Maya. Of course, I'm going to be a host. There are other things that have happened. We had election. We got Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I mean, so many things have happened over the time. So for me, I'm just going to, tell you guys about just me, my little quarantine thing that happened during the time I've been, on hiatus, during the time I've been preparing for season two. It's been great, honestly. Had some little ups and downs, but what to do. I mean, homeschool, of course, is killing us. My son is back, of course. He's still homeschooling. I did not give him the opportunity for him to go back into the classroom. So for now, he's actually still home. The house is full. My mom is here. She came from Librarian, so she's hanging out with us. So it's been some good family time. But I did miss you guys. I miss all of you guys because I know how important this is to me and how important it is to all of you guys. So I appreciate you guys joining us. Like I said earlier today, we have Prince Wonten. He's a Librarian artist. He's going to be joining us soon. But I first just want to talk to you guys to see how you guys are doing. Just want to share with you my time away from this. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out the little studio. We've got some little renovation going on in the studio. So for now, we're just waiting until we can get back into the studio. But hey, COVID-19, so everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Just trying to figure out, I hope you guys are being safe out there. Some of you guys are taking the time to, love on your family, taking the time to, make some money, because, those who got their businesses and doing online businesses, they are making money. But today, it's really, like I said earlier, it's the first day of season two. I'm excited. I can't wait to start with you guys. I'm back. I'm here. Yes, it's season two of the conversation. Is amazing. It's dope. I mean, the people that we have on here are gonna be amazing. I mean, the stories, the conversations are gonna be great. I think Prince is actually just logging in now. So it's gonna be amazing. What are your thoughts on Texas going mask free? So for me, I said there's nothing that I can work with it, because that mask thing, I don't know what Texas is talking about. I think they need to, get on it. They need to focus on something else. I mean, people need to wear their mask until we are 100% free of COVID. I think people need to wear their mask. So that would be great. But for now, let's just watch and see what happens in Texas with all the rates and stuff that have been going on. I think they should be wearing their mask. I don't understand why the governor decided to do that, but I think it's something that they should take on. Other things going on, in society, people living their best life and stuff like that. Like I told you guys, we have an amazing artist. I have a little clip of something he did. I had the opportunity of going to his listening party, and I just thought the kid was dope. I was like, okay, he is extremely older when it comes to his craft. And I think for me, that really spoke volumes to me. And so I wanted you guys to really enjoy him, spend some time with him. He's going to, I'm going to ask him some questions. He can answer, he don't want to answer. Like I said, this is the conversation. We are chill back here. But what I'm going to do is before I bring Prince into the studio, I'm going to, you guys are going to have the opportunity to just watch him, hear him, and see, check him out for a little bit.
I don't feel like I deserve your love. I'ma give it all to you. She wanna break up with her boyfriend cause of me. She don't want me, she don't want nobody. She wanna break up.
So, Prince, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. Welcome to the conversation. This is, like I said, this is a free space. It's a no judgment zone. We are the people on here. We are open to just having a great conversation. I was telling those who are watching that I had the opportunity of going to your listening party. I was probably a month or two ago,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. I think mine observation. I wrote notes. I'm old school, so I wrote a lot. But
Thank
I
you.
felt that I'm like, he's so young, but your interpretation, your craft is so old.
Yeah.
It's not in a negative way, but I think
Yeah.
for your peers, people of your age group, I think you are. I'm like you said some things. I wrote it down. I was just like, okay, I definitely need to have a conversation with you because I need to know where his mind was when he
Appreciate
wrote certain things.
it. Yeah.
But I want to welcome you to the conversation, outspoken and opinionated. You open our season. This is season 2. We're excited to have you. Everybody, those who are watching are excited to have you. As you saw, I just played a little clip of something that I got from your team, just to
Mhm.
get the people understanding. But I really want to know more about you. So I'm just gonna dive right in. Like,
All
who
right.
are you?
Definitely.
Who is Prince Wonten? Who are you?
Prince Wonten is an artist born and raised half of his life in West Africa and the other half in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout high school and forward, he's been trying to find his way and find where he belonged the most. And he always seemed to bounce back on music. And that's something I've been pursuing for some time now. So,
Okay,
yeah, I'm
cool.
an artist.
So that's who you are. You're an artist.
Yeah.
And so great. So release that into another segment. First of all, I want to let the people know that I am representing, so I got to stand up a little bit so you can see what I'm wearing. I am representing. Okay.
Word, word, word,
Okay.
word,
If
word.
I want on, they need to know. They need to know. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
what we do up in here. But anyway, I being the fact that you are such an amazing artist, having an opportunity to listen to you, having an opportunity to just be in your presence and experience your vibe, you give me Khalid. That's the vibe I got. I don't know if anybody said that to you before. I got a Khalid vibe. Have you ever heard that? Anybody told you that before?
Yeah, I heard a few from some
Okay,
guys out here. Yeah.
okay, good. So, who is your favorite artist? As an artist, who's your favorite artist?
As of right now,
Uh huh.
it's something that constantly changed, to be honest. But
Okay.
right now, uh, right now, I would say I am my favorite artist.
You are your favorite. You
Yes,
know what?
yes. As of and it's not anything. It's not anything cocky or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
especially listening to like records that I've written and
Mm-hmm.
throughout the process, and most of them are unreleased, and just like going back and just reflecting on those is like I got some fires. Like,
No, you do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So as of right
So,
now,
mhm,
from what I've heard from myself, I'm my
that's
favorite
good.
right now.
That's good. So,
Yeah,
in your spare time, who do you listen to when you're
man,
not writing? When you're not Prince, when you're not Prince, when you're just vibing, who you listen to?
that's a good question. I listen to St. John. Yeah,
St. John.
yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of new, but yeah, he's fired. He's fired. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's who I listen to the most.
So what? So if we list for those who will have the opportunity to go out there purchase your music and stuff like that, what you would say your music is? What kind of genre? What kind of genre does your music fall in? Because I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Because I don't really like putting myself in a box, and I feel like that's what genres do. They
Hmm.
box you in a certain area. It's like art. He's an R&B artist. He's a Afro artist. I like to say alternative because with alternative, there's not really like something specific to expect from alternative.
Exactly.
It comes with a lot. So if I were to put myself in a segment, I would say alternative.
Alternative.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say you just you are your best artist.
Yes, my favorite
You are your
artist.
best artist. You love your that. It's just the confidence about that is like that's why I was saying earlier. I'm like I went to listen to them and I was like this dude. This serious. Like you were saying some things in your music for me, as I was just like, wow, like it was really, 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 really great. So
Thank you.
you were you born in the States or were you born in Liberia?
I was born in Liberia, West Africa.
Born in Liberia, West Africa, raised in the United States.
Half of my
Kind
life.
of half of
Yeah.
your life.
So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
that will work. That will work for me. So we all know about the Liberian entertainment industry.
Hmm.
So I really want to know what has been your experience with the Liberian entertainment industry in the States, and maybe if you have ever experienced it outside of the States.
Um, Genuinely speaking, I don't really have much experience when it comes to the Liberian industry or even the American industry.
Okay.
Because speaking facts, I'm definitely a brand new artist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have like much when it comes to my catalog and all that. And that's something I feel like I'll have more experience on after my album drop. So
Okay.
as of right now, I don't really have much experience with the Liberian industry or even the American industry. Yeah.
Okay. Um, if you will get up tomorrow morning and you get
Hmm.
a call from somebody and they ask you, which artist would you like to collaborate with?
Then
I know you just like yourself, but I mean, man,
I'm telling you.
you just gonna
Uh,
collaborate with Prince.
you feel me? Like it will definitely be the same person, St. John, because I feel
Okay.
like there's a lot I've personally like learned from him as an
Mhm.
artist, and just like learning throughout his process and like starting to experience similar thing. I feel
Okay.
like that's someone I will relate to musically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So musically, your music for me, when I was at the listening party, I got a story. I got stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got versions of different stories, and it took me to a place. So, what is your inspiration?
The inspiration comes from the people I surround myself with, and what I personally feel deep inside throughout my experience in life. And that's
Okay.
that's where mostly I get my inspiration from, is just going through life, just cruising through life and experiencing different kind of things with different people. And that's where I built that inspiration from and project it musically.
Okay. So, when you talk about going through life, I know somebody might see you and say he's young.
Uh,
Like, are you kidding me? But when you talk about differences in life, I just want to put it out. I just want to ask you a question. It's kind of personal, but originally I'm from Liberia.
yeah,
Our parents are from Liberia, and now you are trying to get into, you are in the music industry.
yeah.
How did you convince your parents?
How did I?
Yeah,
Hell no. Um,
because you're supposed to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer.
hell no.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of how I was raised also,
Mhm.
because my aunt she's by far the biggest musical influence when it comes to like my family line and all that.
Okay.
But I guess it's something that it's a freedom that I had psychologically growing up and all that, because there's not much I could have done physically and all that, and as a child growing up, but mentally we're told everything that if you want to do this, you have the opportunity to do it, go ahead, pursue it or whatever. And music has just been something that I've always stick to, that I've all that I've found a way to connect with more than anything. And that's where I got that passion from. And since I've been pursuing it, and there's haven't really been much said to me from my parents regarding me doing other careers and all that. But music is what everyone knows, and
So,
everyone,
when
yeah.
was your first experience with music?
As far as I could remember, around the age of 7 or 8,
Okay.
um, my mom tried putting my brothers and I in a little church choir or whatever to sing.
Hmm.
I didn't sing, but I found it extremely funny hearing my brothers and my sisters sing or whatever. So I started laughing throughout the whole time on the stage. And that was my first encounter with it. And then after that, hearing records from my aunt. I started picking up and all that, and trying to listen more beyond just the vocals and all that, and mostly fall in love with the production and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to go into. It's like production wise, what's your
Hmm.
aesthetic when you talk about production? What's your aesthetic? What are the things that, when we see a music video or we see a clip, we will know that, okay, that's Prince.
Um, weirdly, I like sadness. Like I'm not depressed or anything, but
Okay.
it's something that I can relate with very easily. It's something that almost everybody can relate with easily. And with me, even in all of the new records or whatever, there's some type of sadness, and that's where I got the inspiration from for Demons in My Eyes. Because with that, I feel like I can relate to anyone in the room with that,
Mhm.
and it's something that we all goes through in life in some way, shape, or form. We've all been sad before, and I feel like that's something that stands out more in my music, but it also don't. Because when I'm making a record, my lyrics might be saying something depressing as hell, but the
Mhm.
beat is gonna distract you in some way where you're gonna think that you're having a good time, unless you're actually listening, and then it's gonna hit. But yeah.
So, well, you just opened a Pandora box. So now we're going to talk about
Ah,
Demons in the Eyes because I was like, okay, I don't know, I can talk about it, but I have it in
man.
here. But yeah, so let's talk about that because title, that
Yeah.
title is extremely, it's like it's captivating because
Yeah.
people don't understand the power. Someone told me when I was growing up that your eyes are like the dash, is like the light to a car.
Yeah.
Whatever comes into your body, you see it first. Whatever comes to you, you see it first. So
Yeah.
when you talk about demons in my eyes, I'm like, that's deep. So
Yeah.
what
Very, very.
inspired that title?
Um, like I said previously, it mostly came from inside. It's
Okay.
because prior to my release, not release, but my listening session,
Mhm.
I had already found a name for the album for almost a year. We've been working on records and all that, relating to trying to relate to that name
Yeah.
that I put from the beginning and all that, and writing according to that style. But like a week or so before the release, I call management, let them know that I have to change the name of the album, and they were like, let's sleep on it and see, maybe your mind would change, blah blah blah. But it's something that had to stick, because when I went back and listened to the record, everything, it's something that almost every record on the album is talking about some type of feeling.
Mhm.
It's
Emotions.
talking
Yeah.
about some type of emotion. Yeah.
Yes.
And with that, I feel like our emotions are projected way more through our eyes. It's like our eyes speak more than our body movement does.
Mhm.
And with me, I feel like Demons in My Eyes uh was the perfect name for the album.
It was great. So I want to read to you what I wrote that night.
Uh,
I said it's inspirational when a young librarian finds his niche. The atmosphere is dope, and the intimate vibe brings a sense of connectivity. While
mhm.
the young star prepares of in the side room, his manager goes out there and greet us and all that kind of stuff. But you guys gave us, you literally, I don't know if you understood that, but you gave us an opportunity to step in your world. As you said, demon in my eyes, we were in your eyes because you unveiled something to us as a new artist that I
Right,
felt
right.
for me was really connecting. Like I felt like, okay, I can hang out with him. Like we can vibe.
Uh,
Like that's what I felt. But I was like, it was really, it was like you said, the emotion in the room was great. Everybody understood your song. The lyrics were amazing. And for me, it's enunciation. We heard what you were saying. We understood
Facts.
what you were saying. And so I don't know if we're free to do this, but let me tell you one of my favorite songs.
Uh,
My favorite song was Drip because I thought it's free talk. That's what I said. I said Drip free talk.
yeah.
It was great. One of the other one I have like vintage Black Love, Summer Love. It was like really vintage. It gave me that vibe of. So I
Definitely.
think your production, your togetherness, everything that you have in an album, I just think it's going to be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And
go
with
ahead.
that
Go ahead.
too, it's kind of like, especially with Demons in My Eyes, because for people that know me personally, I am someone who is very introverted, especially when it comes to my feelings. And with
Okay.
for someone to know you or to feel like they have a sense of knowing you or something, you got to bring them a little closer to you and let down some type of guard so they can know that, oh yeah, I can trust this person and I feel like I'm attached to this person or I feel like I know this person. And with Demons in My Eye, that's something I'm trying to do, especially that album being like my debut album that I'm trying to enter the industry with. And I feel
Mm.
like it's something that people will be able to relate to where we can all connect with.
It's relatable. I will tell you
Yeah.
that. For me, I'm 37 years old, and
Ah,
that I was great. I enjoy. I had a good time. I like to. That's me. I like to sit back, chill, relax, and have a good time, and that's what you
appreciate
gave
it.
me. So it was amazing. But you talk about something that I gotta talk about this because that's something that's great. I like to talk about that. I was just talking about it on live recently. I said I think everybody should have an opportunity to go into a strip club. You talk about in your song.
No.
You talk about falling in love with a stripper,
Yeah.
and with that, I was like. You can't fall in love with a stripper. Her job is to collect her money. What's wrong with you?
No.
But I really, really, for me, it's because, like I said earlier, in from where we're from
Hmm.
and our background,
Yeah.
you broke. There are a lot of barriers that you don't understand that you broke in your songs, but you
Oh
broke
yeah.
things. As you talk about love, you talk about stripper, you gave us a metaphor when you talk about ocean. I mean, there are a lot of things that you gave us that from our culture we don't talk about, we don't do. Our
Facts. Facts.
songs
Facts.
don't profess that.
Yeah.
So I think like the fact even falling in love, can we talk about falling in love with a stripper? I really want to talk about that song. So
Sure.
tell me about
Sure.
the inspiration. Don't tell me you fall in love with a stripper.
Hell nah. Um, it's a record that it's like me trying to ex- expand on my creativity because as a writer, one
Mhm.
of the hardest thing is putting yourself in another perspective to write from that side.
Okay.
And I feel like, especially for hookers or whatever, that's something that is not usually talked about, especially in the African industry or in the
Exactly.
Liberian industry or whatever. From what I've heard, it's not something that is like normally discussed or whatever.
Mhm.
And with that, I was just trying to not test the waters, but more like see where my creativity would take me, right? And trying to write from someone's point of view that is not regularly written from, and that's where I was going with that. But it's just me taking my personal love experience with any girl and trying to, let's say, put her in a form where it's like, all right, this is a stripper, and if she were to be, what would it be like, and trying to write from that point of view.
I like that. I like that because you saying that also give me an idea. It's like it's like for those who haven't been in a strip club, when you go to a strip
uh,
club, idolize the women. The women, they are idolized. They are in front of
yeah.
you and they are doing things that some you should feel their fantasy.
Word, 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 word.
Yeah, and they follow your fantasy. And for us who tend to support single mothers $1 bill at a time,
Hell no.
we appreciate the idolization, and so we appreciate your song. But like I said earlier, your album, your vibe, everything was really dope. It was really deep because you come from a place not as most of your peers will
Yeah.
come from. You gave us a story, you took us back. But I don't know if we can go there, but I want to talk about. I know. I wish you was dead.
Wish you was dead.
I
Yeah.
wish you was dead.
That's by far, I would say, one of my favorite records on the entire
Okay.
album. And for people that haven't heard it, uh, pretty soon you guys will get to experience that. But "Wish You Was Dead" it comes from a lot of places, a lot of dark places, to be honest. Uh, it, it's not just me writing from just one perspective or just one experience, but me combining different experiences with different things that usually wouldn't even relate on the same level. And I wrote that record some part of it is talking about like my little cousin that passed. Some part of it is talking about a girl that I was with that hurt me or whatever. And it's like you get to a point where it's like you're hurt or whatever that you don't really care. So you're just saying it's like being on a long drive with this person. You're there, but you're not. They're there, but mentally you're not even within the setting, and you're so fed up with them. It's like I just wish you was dead, and that's where I was coming from with the writing of that record.
And for me, listening to that song, I think it gave me another side about life. Because I
Mhm.
don't think often, like I said, you said some things that normally people won't say.
Yeah,
Nobody wish, I don't, you, we wish death upon people, but we don't say it out.
we
Is
don't
that
say it
somebody
word.
like
Yeah,
I
you
wish
think
you were
it,
dead?
but you
Yeah,
don't say
you
it.
think it, but you put it out. And as artists, for you guys, you guys who are artists and you guys who do sing or do other creativity, you express yourself through your work. And so
Yeah.
talking about that, I know you talked about that earlier that you write. What's the process? What's that whole process of writing, producing, and all that stuff? How did you get into that?
Um, to be honest, I started making music or whatever
Hmm.
in like high school, and I didn't used to write, but the inspiration for that the main inspiration for me starting to write was one of my cousin. He was one of the co-writers on my EP Far From Love, the
Okay.
yeah, the latest collection.
Uh-huh.
Um, and with I don't know. I used to find writing so hard. Like I will, if you give me a topic, I can write an essay on it and write however long, 2 page. I don't care, whatever. But lyrically, like musically, trying to write a record, I just couldn't. So it was this one day he told me, come with me, let's go on a drive or whatever. He started to play some beats. He's like, whatever pop in your head, just spit it out. If you like, you can type it. If you like, you can record it. It's up to you. I don't care. Just do whatever. This is a free it's a free zone. You can do whatever. No one's gonna judge. I'm like, all right. So I started bopping to it and just saying whatever that was coming to my head. And I was like, oh, so that's how it's done. Like whatever comes in your head, even if it's just a melody, you hum it, you record it, and all that. And that's something that stuck with me. Like after that, I started doing a lot of writing, and it's helped me a long way. And my process has been more of me. There's some records on the album that I didn't even write out. Some of them they were just like me freestyling on the mic,
Oh,
and
wow.
then just like yeah. So I usually start off like most of the time. If you ever catch me in the studio, my phone will be to my mouth like this because I have it recording, and whatever. As soon as the beat start, I just start humming or just saying random things. They will come out that don't make sense at all. That's why on the opening record,
Hmm.
if I don't know if you heard the main record, "Demons in My Eyes,"
Hmm.
I'm like humming this thing from the
Yeah.
beginning, and
Hmm.
it's not even words I'm saying. That's how the process start, and that's
Oh,
something going back to me saying I'm trying to let people in so they can connect with me. And that's something where it's like a little personal too, where it's like a main part of my process.
wow.
But yeah, it's just me. First, it goes from me
Uh,
humming a record, and then I'll go back putting words to those parts that I hum, and then get on the mic and record it and everything. That's how the process go for me.
amazing. And so, with behind, people don't understand. I think maybe because for individuals who have had the opportunity of watching people like Beyonce and all these other artists, you see the creativity that goes behind making an album. So I
That's
want
a
to
lot.
ask
Yeah,
you, how much impact or how much involvement do you play when creating that you create your first album you're about to put out into the world? How much of your stake is in it? How much you've participated?
100%. Even if an artist, I like to be very, very, very much hands on, especially when it comes to the music, the
Mhm.
producing, the writing, all of that. I like to be like, because I want it to be authentic. I don't want to put out something where it's like it's not truly me or whatever. And with every record on this album, I had to like do something on it. Even with beats,
Mhm.
if my older brother makes beat for me and say, "Hey, I want you to do this beat," or "I want you to record to this," I would have to go in there, change something, try to make it a little personal, and try to write and relate to it. But I have to be 100% hands on with everything for me to truly connect with it.
That's good. So, there might be, there are young kids out there, there are people who are your age, people who are older than you, who are trying to get into this industry, but they just haven't had the opportunity of meeting, some of the people that, can get them into it. So if there was a younger person,
Yeah.
if there is a younger person listening, how can they get how can they get involved with doing what you're doing, like putting themselves out there?
Um, the key thing I would say, start try, start writing. Like, people don't know how much that helps one's career, but when you start writing and then learn to record yourself,
Okay.
so then you don't have to just imagine if I didn't even know how to write or knew how to produce and none of that. I would have been paying $100 per hours in someone's studio, and
Mhm.
with all the time that is put into this, I would have probably lost like maybe like 20,000 right now if I can count
Whoa.
on the hours and all that.
Mhm.
Trying to record an album in the studio where it's like $100 an hour. But that's something that is extremely important because with an artist, we like to do things when we're in our comfort zone. Especially for me, like I like recording in my room where it's like just me and all that. Like that, if I say something weird on the mic, it's just me. Nobody's gonna be like, that don't sound good. With that, I can expand on my creativity. So when you learn how to record yourself, that's a go. It's a go from there. But yeah,
So I just want to give a few points, but I know you've putting yourself out into the world. You're letting us know who you are.
yeah.
Are you ready for social media?
I'm not really like a social media straight on person, but
Because they can be cruel.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's something too. Cause in high school I did show choir, and with
Okay.
that is basically teaching us what it would be like if you were to do music full time or whatever. So we
Mm.
tour, we do everything. We go through rehearsal, like we'll rehearse for about 8 months and then perform, go against different schools. And then there's critique where people will say the nicest thing or they'll say the nastiest thing you could ever think of. But at the end of the day, it's like the only opinion that matters is yours, and what people say about it you can either take the bad and good from there and try to make it into something however you want it. But yeah, nah, that's something I've already worked on personally, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. Yeah.
Good. So recently you had a producer that passed away.
Oh yeah.
I heard you heard from somebody on your team, and so I just want to find out, how are you doing? Are you okay? How are you handling that?
I'm still processing, just trying to put everything into perspective and just understand more, but I'll be alright.
That's good spirit. Well, but again, I said we're going to do 30 minutes. We did 34 minutes.
uh,
This was the conversation. Do you have anything? First of all, no, definitely. We gotta talk about the apparel. So I got my hoodie on, you got your hat on. I
yeah.
mean, I've had the opportunity, I went somewhere and somebody liked it. Like I said, it's grown up boy, right? That's what it's called, right?
Oh yeah, that's my management. Yeah,
Exactly. And so let's talk about, so I don't for who leave. Let's talk about your manager.
definitely. Yeah.
How open see? What's going on?
There's a lot that he does behind the scenes that no one really know about. But yeah, he and his wife, they're very very involved with everything, and it's something that I appreciate, especially for someone coming to the game, having people that 100% believe in you as much as you do. It boosts your confidence to another level, and that's something I appreciate. But yeah,
But you can tell the people who's your manager so they know. So if they he are you okay to share your manager?
that's not what our contract said.
That's how your contract said, right? You're gonna be the alone artist. Lone artist, and that's it. He can get nobody else. I
Yes,
understand that.
smooth man.
Yes. But you guys, for those, you're such an inspiration, and I don't know if
Yeah,
you know that. I don't know if people have told you that, but you're such
I
an
appreciate it.
inspirational person. I had the opportunity to just, vibe, be in your presence, having an opportunity to listen to your music. I think it's great. Of
Thank you.
course, follow you on social media because I'm like, okay, this kid is going somewhere. And just from me to you, I want you to understand I keep forward, keep pushing this. Most often the road is not going to be smooth,
Oh
but
yeah,
you're going to get there with your team and with everything. And before I leave here, I just want to ask you one more question because you talk
definitely.
about all these things. I'll just ask you, how spiritual are you?
I'm I grew up in a spiritual home, so I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah, I'm very spiritual. It may not seem like it because I'm again very introverted, but
Mhm.
yeah,
No, because I asked that question because I can sense it. Like your music, the things you talk about, it's all about emotions, and people don't understand that emotions are connected with your spirituality. And so
facts,
you
facts,
gave that to
facts.
us. But I
Yeah,
want to say thank you for coming on the show. This was Deep Conversation, Outspoken Opinionated. I hope to see you again, hang out with you again, listen to your music. But it was good having you. We appreciate you, and we look forward to the dropping of Demons in My Eyes.
yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank
you have a good time, man.
you too.
Okay, bye. So of course, guys, that was Prince Wonten. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Like I said earlier, this is the conversation, outspoken opinionated. We're here. Prince Wonten, like I said earlier, he's an amazing artist. And so we can just move on talking about music. But if you guys have questions, you guys have things you want to talk about, we have a couple of minutes, we can do that. But to be honest with you, this was the conversation, and trust me, it's about time. So you guys have an amazing Thursday. I mean, just keep on doing what you're doing. Stay safe and peace out.